Welcome back. This is Too Much For Me. My name is B. Burlington.
And my name is Skuzii. That's SKUZ with two eyes like your face.
Hopefully, you have two eyes.
Hopefully.
And guess what we're talking about today? Nigga! Who can say it? Who can't say it?
Hot topic.
Oh,
Black people. There you go.
Done.
Episode over.
But really, though, I think there's always been discourse about who can say nigga. You know, the white people always say, well, if it's in the song, I should be able to say it, right?
Wrong.
No, absolutely not. You shouldn't say nigga under any circumstances. Culturally. That's my personal answer.
Yeah, I agree. And I think one of the things that bothers me about that shit too is it's just like, I hate the lack of acceptance for that. Like, I hate well, why do you need a why? Just don't. You know why.
Yeah, I think people want to be, it feels like the in club, the cool kids, like it's
N-word club.
The N-word club, yes. It's the premier thing to do. But it's not that exciting. I don't think a lot of people realize that.
Yeah, I think it's one of them things too, human nature wise, where it's just like as soon as a motherfucker tell you can't do something, that's when you want to test the water.
That's actually a very good way to describe that. Like if you tell somebody no, they're gonna want it even more. Pause. But on the same token, on the same token, if you allow them into this, I don't want to call it a club, but like culturally, you want to like give them that N-word pass. That's goofy. That's goofy shit. Cause why? Why can't you just say no?
Yeah, I've never liked that. I've never been a fan of that. Especially like I hate that excuse too, where they be like, "Well, I grew up around blah blah." I'm like, we have like white boys that grew up around us, and they didn't at no point have said the N-word.
Don't have to. Have to.
And the thing is, having tried, there was never a conversation, never an issue. Same with any Koreans I was cool with, or even certain Spanish people, not Puerto Ricans, but like, and again, we'll get into that, but like Mexicans or anything like that. Like it was definitely a best case scenario where like that was never an issue. Only time I think anybody's ever said like the N-word, it was like if they were trying to get some shit off and then a fight started after that. But it was never like no inclusive shit. Like I'm one of the guys.
I think I've had two separate instances at work where I was either asked or someone just said it. It was really weird. Like it was a Filipino young lady asked me, can Filipinos say the N-word? She asked me and another black girl. I was like, no. It was just a simple cut and dry no. And she tried to plead her case. Part of me understood it because like, oh, the Filipinos are the black people of the Asian world, but you're not black.
Yeah. And I think just to be clear about when we say black, we mean you at some point your peoples was in Africa, you got taken from a ship, you got dropped off somewhere, you were enslaved for some time, and now you're not. And even though technically like African Americans, like I mean like people post slavery from Africa are here, I wouldn't trip if one of them said it or something like that.
Yeah.
Even though that goes beyond the explanation we just gave.
Yeah. But it's like anybody who was kind of involved or anybody whose ancestors were involved in the African diaspora.
There it is.
You know, even if you're mainland still African or if you're African American, whatever, if you are, or you know, Caribbeans to some degree, if you were part of that, then you can say nigga.
Yeah.
You know, the person who said it was he was a Filipino also. It was two random Filipinos.
What's up with the Filipinos?
I don't know. One of them was more brown than the other one. The one who was more brown didn't say, can I say the N-word? No. And the other guy, we were just sitting in the break room. It was me, him, and two white guys. And he said nigga. And he looked at me, and I looked at him like, really? Really?
What's wrong with you?
What are you doing? And I just stopped talking for the rest because that happened, I didn't know how to address it. You know? And I don't think a lot of people talk about that. It's like, how do you address someone saying nigga and you know you're not supposed to say nigga?
And that's, I think, the part that they don't think about. I think, again, and we were talking about this, and we can get into like the Spanish and Mexican OT shit, but like prior to that, but like people always go straight to the tough guy shit where it's just like, oh, are some black guys gonna beat my ass? And it's just like, you're not even considering the level of respect I might have had for you prior that I no longer have for you. Like, I might have considered you a friend or somebody I was cool with. And again, it's just like, I might be too old to be like, dog, no, I'm not gonna waste no time beating your ass. I just don't fuck, like, I can't fuck with you no more. And especially, God forbid, we have a professional relationship.
Oh, yes, it's pretty much a wrap for that.
Yeah, and then anybody else who that might ask me, like, hey, do you fuck with such and such? The first thing, and I'm gonna keep it a buck, it's somebody like, I'm not gonna say their name, It's a white damn. If you watch this, you gonna know who I'm talking about. But it's a white dude that went to ODU and he does music and he was cool. He's cool with a certain DJ still.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he was cool with mad black folks on the scene and shit. He does black music, et cetera, et cetera. And they had a talk one day about black stuff, essentially. Just I forgot what was going on. It might have been like different riots, something going on. But it was a conversation of blackness and civil rights and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like a little group discussion, which matter of fact, I was about to be like, who the fuck put him on a board? But it wasn't that. He was in the audience, and I think then he said something. And he was saying something about using the N-word. But he said it and was just like, yeah, because, something about, and I don't even remember what the conversation was. It doesn't matter to me because, again, you don't need to say the word to get across. When you say the N-word, we know what you're talking about. It's not like we're like, what nunchucks? No, nigga. Like, we know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And he said it, and and people still fuck with him. And I'm like, dog, hold y'all white folks accountable. Like, and again, to this day, and he's always been nice to me, super cool guy, makes good music, good connections. But I'll never forget that he said that stupid shit.
It definitely sullies the your personal opinion about somebody. Like I said, I agree with you on. I'm too old to beat anybody's. I never did have to beat anybody's ass. Luckily, I'm not that kind of person. But who's gonna waste their time doing that?
Right.
No one. It's not that deep that I have to beat your ass over, but it is that deep that now I can't have a professional or not in unprofessional relationship with you at the same time.
On a funny note too, the other problem with that is, God forbid somebody say nigga and you try to beat their ass in the name of the ancestors and you get your ass whooped.
Man, you get mollywopped and now they calling you a nigga to your face. You got blood coming out,
The best thing you got going for you is now it's a hate crime.
Oh man,
you're
still gonna lose that.
That's an ass whooping. I would not like. I don't even know if I want to risk that.
Bro, Harriet Tubman just looking down at you, shaking her head like, God damn. You one of the ones I would have shot. It's like shit.
Like a sorry ass horse. But that being said, I think an important conversation is the Spanish homies. Like,
yeah.
And I grew up with Puerto Ricans. A lot of them didn't really say that. A couple of them I did that. That was my homies. They did. But growing up, that wasn't it. And like now that I'm older and I can articulate it, and we talked about this off camera.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not tripping just because. And again, this is a two-way conversation. Like, those are our African brothers and sisters still. We just all got dropped off in different places. Like, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cuba. It's a big population of Africans that were dropped off there. And they have a big culture to it. We all have our different cultures that are tied into our roots and stuff like that. And they're all different, which is dope and really, really beautiful. So when it comes to something as simple as saying that, I'm not really tripping. But the problem is, you have a lot of people on that. Now, you do have a lot of proud Afro-Latinos and Latinas and stuff.
Yeah,
but you have a lot of them that be claiming that Europe side of it, there's like a certain part. I forgot. There's a word for it in the DR too. I forgot what it is. But it's some of them claim the European shit, and then others of them claim like the first people that were there.
Like the Aboriginal shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then they do that and then just be like, oh, but no, black
papi, no papi.
But I can say nigga. I can say my nigga.
I'm brown.
And that's what I have a problem with is you don't want to take the African roots, but you want to like die for the right to say, nigga, like that's the hill you want to die on,
it's all about how you present yourself. So if you are actually Afro-Latino, Afro-Latina, cool. You want to present like that. And even if you don't present like that and you're trying to like play both sides, I kind of have a problem with it.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, because it's like you're really gung-ho about being more Hispanic, which is cool. I respect the culture, respect all of it, but don't try to claim nigga also. Right. If that's not what you want to claim. It's
a package deal, baby.
It is. It honestly is. You have to take both sides of it. Pause.
Again,
it's getting worse, but you definitely have to. If you are a multicultural individual, which you can attest to this.
Hell yeah.
You have to accept both sides of yourself.
Damn sure.
And that's me coming as a person who's like, I'm just straight up, I'm nigga. I'm black. I got a country daddy, and I had a 757 mama. We black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for us, I don't have no issue with the multicultural shit, but present yourself in the way you want to be.
Big facts.
Like Amara La Negra, she's Afro-Latina.
Yes.
And she makes people lets it be known.
And she died on that hill too, and that's why I respect it. Because I think a lot of these arguments come from her bringing it up to light. Because a lot of people weren't talking about that for a while. And I remember she was one of the first people to be like, "Nah, put some respect on my shit. I am this." Like,
Oh
this is
yeah,
what I
for
am.
sure, for sure. You know, from her having the Hispanic roots and being able to do the bachata or whatever dances she wants to do, but also having a fro. You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
Really living in her truth. And I think a lot of people don't want to do that for fear of being, I guess, not accepted.
Yeah.
From either side. Maybe you weren't accepted on either side. You know, looking at Logic. Shout out to Logic. But
I enjoy his music.
I enjoyed it a couple years back. I don't enjoy it now for some reason. But, you know, certain people can say the N-word. Why am I saying N-word like I'm white? Nigga. Some people can't.
I think it's applicable to the conversation.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now, Mexicans, I'm not with it. Now, granted, also, I'm not raised around Mexicans. I'm not familiar with a lot of Mexican culture.
Just to clear, you mean like Mexico Mexicans, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Some people just say Mexicans and mean like
Spanish people.
Yeah.
Mexicans.
They mean Venezuelans, Brazilians in there.
Yeah, well, but I would say, I mean, if it applies, Mexicans, Central Americans, etc. But why I say etc.? That sounds like a bad medicine.
It does.
You
start losing your hair.
But similar. I say similar, not the same shit. My thing is just like if you don't have those roots, and again, not granted too. Also, let's go ahead and address any I almost said sand in the room. But there's you can make the same argument like where there was black people in Mexico too, black people. But yes, cool. We're not talking about that. We talk. What we talk about.
We're talking about like you have nothing in your blood that is of the African diaspora.
Yeah, you don't claim it. You're Mexican. That's cool.
But you want to say it.
We fuck with you. But again,
heavy.
And also, I want to be clear too that like different people, like if you're on the West Coast, Western, Southern United States and stuff, that it's going to be different from you, and your perspective is different, which I can respect. Because again, I'm coming from the perspective of I'm not around y'all motherfuckers. I just see the shit on the internet and people ready to die on the hill. Specifically, matter of fact, we'll just go ahead and talk about the Mexico OT.
Go for it.
I definitely didn't fuck with that. If you're not familiar with it, I think he's a great rapper, but bro was pretty much on I think it was what's her name? She used to be on the Breakfast Club.
Oh, Angela Yee's?
Yeah, her podcast. Yeah. And it was just like somehow the conversation got brought up. And his whole shit was just like, is there any black dudes in here? So he could look at you and just be like, what you gonna do about
like
it?
a deadpan stare into your face.
Yeah.
Saying, are you gonna confront? You gonna jump me?
And it's like, I don't agree with it, but at least I can respect your argument of I was raised around black people. That's just what I'm used to. That's just what I grew up hearing. I don't agree with it, but I can at least respect your perspective. But you trying to push a narrative like, well, what the fuck you gonna do? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, dog, you still a professional, bro. You still have a career. Like,
yeah. I think the biggest thing about it is a lot of people say that they were raised around that culture. I get that. You were reared into that.
Hey.
But that's what he was.
I'm just saying reared into it is crazy.
Yeah, it is wild.
But I understand what you mean.
But at the same token, as humans, as people, as adults, we continuously learn to do better.
Hello.
And that's the biggest thing about it. If you die on that hill, that's what you know. And, sometimes, you don't have to always bend the knee to the court of public opinion. But you have a lot of fans or people in general around you that might respect you less because now you want to die on a hill because that's what you know. And you don't want to know better or you don't want to know more and do better. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and a lot of them too, it'd be like they just want to do it because you told them that they can't.
Oh,
which is so childish.
It's very childish, but I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's just a big ass kid.
Hello.
Nobody wants to be told they can't do anything because it limits their access to what they believe they deserve.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think that shit is just so. Again, it's like
corny. It's corny as fuck.
Yeah, like for example, I'm mixed. My mother's black, and I don't see why I wouldn't be able to say nigga.
No,
facts. If for some reason I got to a certain level of fame and I know that I'm hurting people's feelings or some shit like that, it's not that serious. I'll just stop. Like, it ain't that deep. Like, again, if God forbid that conversation ever happened, like, okay, damn, I'm hurting people's feelings. If that shit is like, I might not agree, but I'm not trying to lose. Like,
this is it's kind of a sidestep, but I think people play into their characters too much.
Yeah.
And that's what it really becomes. And we've had this conversation off camera a lot about people who don't know how to separate who they are from who they are presenting as.
There it is.
And that's really the biggest thing. You can turn off your that character that you're trying to be and be a better person.
Damn sure.
That's like the biggest thing. You don't have to be, oh, I'm tough, I'm a thug, I'm that Mexican OT, for example. And then you're like confronting people and saying, what you gonna do about it? You might have been a top-notch individual who was really just chilling. You do have black friends who wouldn't care if you say nigga, but you actually don't say nigga. But now you looking like a cunt.
And then best case scenario too, let's just say I do somebody and I beat your ass. It's not like you're gonna stop saying it. If
Exactly.
anything, you gonna come back with a vengeance, like, and I'm still saying nigga.
Exactly. You know, sometimes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say it was a big white rapper from Texas doing that. I think it was like a ginger.
I saw that.
I forgot his name.
I saw that, and people were like co-signing that whole thing.
And it was random too because he was from '60s, like he's a '60s crip. I think he's from Dallas, either Dallas or Houston. Mm-hmm. And that was his trying to be his argument too. He was from a hood, so he was just like, but it all comes back to, so first of all, y'all need to get y'all people in this. I would say if you belong to a whatever the fuck, whether it be a group of motherfuckers, it could be a religion, a frat, gang, a hood, whatever. Hold your white folks accountable, please. We done all grew up with white people here and there, whether it be a mix, minority, majority, whatever. Hold them motherfuckers accountable. And they shouldn't be saying that shit, and you shouldn't be giving them a space to feel safe to say.
Stop trying to make it into a thing. Stop trying to make it into a natural thing. Like you said, everybody has not seen that. I didn't grow up around that shit. Yeah. I definitely didn't. And for me, it makes me feel uncomfortable, for one, to be asked, can you say the N-word? And secondly, to watch you just do it, not being mindful of present company. You know, I'm not saying that people have to tailor who they are and diminish themselves if that's how they grew up, but be considerate. Or don't say it.
At the end of the day, yeah, just don't say that shit. You don't need to. And I'm like, it's stupid. And again, we're too fucking old for the tough guy shit. What you gonna do?
It's way too old.
Be a better person, bro. Be more considerate. Don't put nobody in a position where you got to do that. Because one day you're not gonna be able to fight and just beat up niggas or whatever the case may be, or even take a beating like that. Yeah. And again, you gonna test your motherfucking luck. You gonna find the right person one day. They're not gonna fight you. They're gonna put you in the fucking ground.
That's facts.
It shouldn't even. It shouldn't even have to be a conversation. We're too grown and too fucking old for that conversation. And honestly, it bothers me that, like, especially once we start getting really in your 20s, you shouldn't be doing none of that shit either. But especially in our 30s, 40s, 50s, and shit like that, yo, we grown ass men. You should be able to articulate your point.
Or women.
Women. That part.
Yeah.
Grown ass people.
Grown ass people.
You should be able to articulate your point and be able to receive information and give it out, pause, without it. Again, just getting to that point. Like, it's just, they're so childish, and I hate that narrative that we keep pushing that.
Stop thinking of it as a personal attack on your character and think of it as a learning lesson to just not, you don't have to always make people feel uncomfortable.
Facts.
You're not pushing some kind of button. You're not some black sheep you're supposed to change culture and make people think a different way. Sometimes you're just really just being an asshole.
And on that note,
this has been too much for me. I'm B. Burlington.
I'm Skuzii.
And some of you shouldn't say nigga.
Bitch.